Welcome to Bears Banner Season 5. This is season 2025 for the Chicago Bears, and we are going to do a post-game live from the 38-0 shellacking that the Bears put on the Bills. It's preseason, but it looked great. Let's get it going.
Yes, sir. Let's get it cracking. Hold on, we just got another guest came on. Hey, Big Ed, what's going on? He probably working on his mic. Man, Jay, that was a Salakin 38-0. Welcome to Bears Banner. My name's Bernard Muhammad. Got Guy Moore on the show tonight. Jay Beasley, who just did the introduction, and Keith Plank Floydnoy. And we got Big Ed Star probably still working on his sound. He's sitting in as a guest tonight. Man, what's happening, man? Are we overexcited or what's going on?
We're not overexcited. I think we're just excited about the race. Of excitement. It's funny when we finally see the Bears coach going out there and having discipline and everything else. Now everybody, they're mad when the Bears don't do well, and you hear they don't do well, and then they're upset when they do well. So, Chicago, calm down. It's going to be okay.
Well, I mean, it's an opportunity to get excited just because, 520 total yards in offense. We probably haven't seen that from the Bears in a regular season or a preseason game it's been some years. So just to actually see a functioning offense is something to get excited about. No pre-snap penalties, no crazy personal fouls. It's just good to see disciplined football.
You know what? And I think we look at things a little bit differently. I know a lot of people starting to drink the Kool-Aid and they come up with these astronomical win numbers. But something we're looking at, just like he was talking about cohesion, man. They look like first string, second string, and third string. Something I mentioned off the air was the fact that it just looked like everybody knew what they were supposed to do. The competency, that's what Jay said, competency.
Right.
It was off the chain, and that's what we're looking at. We're looking at some of the young guys, of course, to see how they do. But this is a completely different team. Like I said, you know what? You want a guy that's your a coach as a ride or die guy, but he ain't your friend. And Ben Johnson, I don't care if you're a rookie. I don't care if you're an all-star, going to be a Hall of Famer. You get the business when you mess up, and that's what a coach does. And it kind of sort of seeing him rub off a little bit on the players. It's still early, but so far from what I see, I like it.
Accountability means a lot. No matter what you talk about sports or if you talk about in real life as a human, accountability is everything. So I like that aspect in theory as to what he's trying to do.
Well,
I do. I like that, Ben. Oh, I'm sorry, Plank. Go ahead.
No problem. When I see Ben Johnson out there, he reminds me of a parent.
Yeah.
He's giving his kids direction when they do something wrong, he's stopping, correcting, and doing all of that kind of stuff. We're so used to coaches that wanted to be friends with the team, with the players. That's not the right thing to do. So I like the parenting. Just from my perspective, I'm the same way with my kids. So let's go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, I think Ed's still working on getting his camera on. Ed, let me know when you're ready to come out. Hey, I agree. What we saw from Ben Johnson, and I know it's preseason, is we did at least see a team that shows some discipline. Let me pull you off where you get yourself straight, Ed. Team who shows some discipline. Now, I was a little concerned because the very first play of the game, I thought we had brought Velus Jones back in a different uniform.
Robert Jones.
Not the best of the kickoff.
Yeah.
Tyler Scott, he's got to be a bubble dude at best. I know.
Exactly. He's definitely on the bubble.
That wide receiver room is pregnant right now.
Yeah.
This is pregnant with talent. It's so, and something we talked about. Two of your dogs had a total of what? Two or three catches? Rome and DJ?
Yeah.
Man, look, yeah. I'm looking at these guys, man, and it's really interesting. The one thing, and I know that you would be able to explain it better than I can, Jay, the route concepts. It didn't seem like everybody was on top of each other. When he threw that ball to Komet, that perfect ball that Bernard was talking about, he threw that ball. You looking around, it's like guys are out there, and it's like the defense is doing this. Love it.
It's insane, man. It took me about 20 minutes to get through the first drive because I had to just go back and be like, okay, what this guy just do? What is he doing? What's the route concept here? How deep is this route going to be? That first drive was insane, and I just had to go back to see exactly what they were doing, how many yards they were going on each particular play. Dan Orlovsky on ESPN this morning broke it down how he talked about Caleb. He timed all his throws from the snap to the time he got rid of the ball. And every snap where he threw a pass, the longest one was 2.7 seconds.
Yep.
So that lets you know he's getting the ball, he's processing, and he's getting rid of it. And that's all you can ask for in an offense.
Yeah.
Hey, what you got, Ed? You got any thoughts on right now in the game yesterday?
Hey, bro.
I mean, clearly it's good evening, everybody. Clearly, it's when you have a confidence and you believe in a coach. You'll run through a wall for him, and that's what it is. You see the difference. Last year, the coaching staff they didn't believe in him, so it was like every man for themselves in a sense. But now everybody buying into this process, buying into Ben Johnson, buying into his concept, and buying into his process. And you see the results of it. I mean, people holler, "Oh, it's preseason." Yeah, it is preseason, but you only can play who you can play. I mean, you only can play who in front of you. I mean, let's stop that nonsense madness. The reality is that, I mean, we'll see. I think they're gonna turn the lights on when it's time to play. That's how I felt about it.
You know what?
And to that, it's good. It's good that you said that because all we've heard throughout training camp, throughout OTAs, oh, Caleb ain't learning this and he ain't learning that. And and you know what? I thought about it yesterday after the game. I'm like, these narratives are coming out the way they're coming out is because Ben Johnson wanted to come out that way. That's just me. I don't know how true it is, but I'm not. But I'm like, he's like, yeah. Let's just let everybody think that Caleb ain't grasping the offense. He had a bad practice here. Well, that's what practice is for. And to me, what showed yesterday is what practice was for. And for them to come out and do what they did in that first drive lets me know that Caleb ain't grasping the offense. And just think, he didn't even have his starting offensive line out there. Not all of them.
Exactly.
And if you look at it, and like I say, I watched that first drive for like 15 minutes. I just kept going back and forth. He had clean pockets.
Yep.
He rolled out on that first pass to Loveland. That was a rolled out, but everything else was clean pocket.
And his reads were like this. Boom.
He's not used to that. He's not used to that. So for him to be able to perform the way he performed last night on those first couple of drives, I was just so satisfied.
But you know what?
I'm sorry, Jay, last year, if you look through a game, I'm not going to count game one because, that was his very first game. But when you look at games 2 through 5 or 6, I remember clocking him and looking at it that he was getting the ball out of his hand at 2.5 seconds. It wasn't until the Washington game after that loss, that very next game, where they was struggling putting up points with that production. And I think what happened is what Ed said, right? Now that doubt came in more, right, about the coach, right? Because you remember even at one point, even in those games, they went and said we wanted pre-script plays. But, as most quarterbacks, when they get hit a lot, they're going to hold it longer or they're just going to throw it up. And it's weird that some quarterbacks, once they start getting hit, they like, okay, I can take the hit, so I'm going to hang in there longer.
Yeah. You know what I think of, and I hate to use this analogy, but it's the only way that I can go with it. If you guys have ever seen guys train dogs, and I'm not trying to insinuate, so let's not go into this social media saying, guys calling these people dogs. So I had to make that disclaimer real quick. But have you ever seen a trained dog? Like if you look at videos where there's a trained dog out and they put him in there with all these wild dogs, and the trained dog is an alpha dog. You see what he does? The dog goes crazy. And he just stands right over and puts his paw on him. That's what Ben Johnson is doing because we've been so conditioned. The players have been so conditioned. These coaches coming in, being your friends. Then when they go off, now you look at them like this Mark right here. Ben Johnson is a coach's coach, man. I mean, we'll see what happens in the season, but what I like is his mindset. Just like I said before, he'll run through hell in a gasoline suit for you as a player, but he ain't your friend. And I think that right there could be it's very, very detrimental. And not detrimental, but it's essential. And it's starting to show. Even those two games, you can see the discipline portion of it, where like the accountability of guys. It's just different, man.
And Jay made a good point when he was saying how all the narrative that came out that Caleb wasn't learning this and Caleb wasn't learning this. So there's no way you can tell me this kid who been playing quarterback his entire life, been meeting with Ben Johnson since his first week on the job, and you're gonna tell me he ain't learning something from Ben Johnson? Come on, man. And that's the crazy part about it. Like, dude, like y'all really that just so hateful. It's just plain hate and stupidity, man. It's like, it's like I'm conditioned like this. He ain't gonna be this. It's no way you can tell me this kid. Ben said they talk on the phone 2-3 times a night. Caleb call all time of the day, all time. And you can't tell me this kid ain't picking up this offense. I don't care what you say. This kid got it. He gonna have it. All he needed was somebody to believe in, man. Somebody, and he needs some weapons that he can believe in. You talking about weapons? Good God, this dude got some weapons. I don't care where you look on that field. This kid got some weapons. And he got some people that's gonna catch the ball. He got some people that ain't afraid to take some hits. You got big body boys in there. You got wide receivers blocking and fucking runs. Oh, excuse me for cousin. You got wide receivers blocking and run plays, man. Are you serious? Come on, man. It's just wide over.
What I noticed, and I want to sit down and point this out. One of the biggest changes that I've noticed is in the offensive line.
Yes.
Looking at all of the linemen they put in there, I saw Newman out there. He looked like there was no pressure, nothing was coming off of that. I've seen Bennett, and his name is up there in the left tackle, and Armageddon, when he's not hurt, he actually looked decent. So I'm putting that all attributed to Rochar, the offensive line coach.
Yep.
Ryan Poles got this guy, got the guys on the team and everything. But this dude, he's actually doing something, and he's teaching offensive linemen how to play.
Offensive
so
line.
I'm looking at hand placement. I'm looking at their feet. They're putting anchors in, and of course, I'm no expert on offensive line, but you can look at them and say, "Man, ain't nobody really close to the doggone quarterback." And this wasn't just Caleb Williams. It was
all of them.
They rolled out there.
Them dudes, man. Look, here's the thing that's really interesting like that. They drew somebody outside. If you go back to the tape and look at the offensive line, everybody's on the line like this, not even moving till they snap the ball. I'm in my mind, because we're so conditioned to seeing them go false starts. I'm watching these dudes and they sitting there. You seeing the Bills jump offline, or they're getting defensive calls. Man, these guys are. It's discipline, man. It's like you've gone through from the time you played Pee Wee ball up to now. You're one of maybe 400 players in the world or whatever it is. You're the best football player. So really, if you're made it to that point, there's not a whole lot I can give you. It's more psychological, like a lot of them offside penalties we had. Like I'm trying to remember who it was. It was somebody. Oh, somebody is a guy from Buffalo had them 2 straight false starts.
He sucked.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real well, however he's been. And I'm looking at that, and as soon as I see that, I'm like, please don't let us do it. And every time I saw the line for all 4 quarters, it was like all you saw was a straight line. You didn't see no movement. Love it.
Yeah, got great points. I like to bring up some of the things I think you could take from preseason. I know it's preseason, but there's some things you can take away from preseason. I saw the improvement of Caleb fundamentals. I thought his footwork looked a whole lot better in the time he played. Also add, like Jay said, getting the ball out of his hand. But also what I saw that I didn't see last year was plays getting in quick. Yep. And I know it becomes where if you're on the road, right, it may take a little while. But if you practice good habits, Ed was coach football for a long time. You have to practice good habits, right? And the Bears too many times got plays in late, and you even heard. I remember one time, Ken and Allen was talking about it was a 4th down play, and by the time they got the play, it was about 18, 20 seconds. So they didn't even get the last part of the play. They said the headphones went off, and they all just looked at each other, and the huddle was trying to decide, like, should we actually just call timeout? Because we're going for it on 4th, but we don't even know what the rest of the play is.
We don't even know what the play is.
Yeah, so they just went on, just ad-lib and just ran something. But that is so important. And what like Guy mentioned, I always said this is we could talk about sacks, but you got to also talk about the things that contribute to sacks. Lack of discipline when you're getting false starts, and now 3rd down is a difficult down. When you got 3rd and 15, now your quarterback does have to hold the ball longer because he's trying to get long developing plays versus if you got 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, right? Play get in late. Play get in so late, the defense get in there set. If they shift, you can't even come out of that because why? You done got into your offensive set so late that by the time you try to point out somebody, you got a false, you done got delayed game. So all that becomes important. And if the Bears can keep that momentum, it's going to be a lot of positive things. Hey, Plank, like you had something you wanted to say?
No, I'm
Okay.
100% on board with you. One of the things I want to start tracking is something that Jay's going to love this. Wide receiver pancakes. Luther Burden. Hey, we of course talking about how fluid he is and the catches and run after the catch. He put some sticks on a couple DBs that were ridiculous.
No block, no rock.
I haven't seen that
No block,
since,
no block, no rock. No block, no rock. So he like, hey, I want the rock thrown to me. I want the rock thrown to me.
Miles, what's his face? He's a whole Hines Ward. That's the last time I seen a wide receiver that really wanted to get after people like that.
Yeah,
So,
I just know on one of the touchdowns, and I can't. It was late in the game, and a wide receiver sprung a running back for the touchdown. He came from the outside and weaved his way in the middle and made a block. And
That was Luther Burden.
That
was Luther Burden.
That's the one.
That was Luther Burden.
No,
that was Luther Burden.
And his whole thing is like, okay, if I got a block to get the rock, then that's what I'm gonna do. So, but it's a mindset though. It's a mindset, and Ben Johnson has came in from day one with that mindset, telling the wide receivers like, "I'm pass happy. I can throw it all day long. But if you ain't blocking, you're not rocking. So we need to we need to see you physically engaged in the running game, and your reward will be the passes and the targets that you get. And when a wide receiver hears that, they get excited. The good ones, the ones that want to be great, they get excited. Like, okay, I'm going to put this work in because I know in the end, when my number is called, I'm going to be the one to make that play.
Jay, I think Luther Burden is going to have the biggest chip on his shoulder than any player that got drafted by the Bears, because he is the guy that is disappointed. He's the guy that disappointed that I'm a first round talent. As a matter of fact, they got me in the second round. I should have been in the first round. And I got to show I could get more time because they, you know what I'm saying? They personal. They got Rome, they got Colston, they got Komet, they got
and it's in his head.
Man, people probably think I'm the fourth guy or fifth guy in this. No.
And I'm gonna say this, right? And I'm gonna say this on air. Like I just told y'all.
People saying if he wasn't involved in plays, he would check out. So he got to prove all that stuff wrong. Like, no, I'm not gonna check out if I'm not getting the ball. I'm gonna go block. I am gonna hustle. I'm gonna prove y'all wrong, you know.
And I'm gonna say this on air, like I told y'all off air before we came on. I got a bet with a guy at my job. Don't hold it against me, Bears Better Talk Show. But I do bet. I do bet a little bit. Not a lot, but I do bet a little bit. But I got to bet that Luther Burden is going to lead this team in touchdown receptions.
That dude is a dog, man. Look,
I just believe it.
It's in his head because he one of them dudes. He to what I've seen so far, you know, they were saying, oh, he's holding out. He's looking for the money. He's this. He's that. And instead of him going off, he sit up here like, all right, you could see it, man. It's like when we talked before, that's my rookie of the game. He just put his head down, did his thing. But what I was going to get back to with the offensive line, we were talking about the other wild card. When your offensive line is congruent and everybody's on the same page, then you get the guy that comes in where you got the quarterback's cadence. Like, say you got a 4th and 2. That black 59 race, boom, jumping guys offside. When your offensive line is cohesive like that, it's so many things. And if we get 1 or 2 of those this year where we can actually have a guy jump offside, it'll be our luck to have one when it's a 4th and 2, when we really need it.
You want to bring in that video, Plank? Oh, go ahead, Plank. I'll bring the video.
One statement I want to make. One of the things that I noticed, I've been reading up on what's going on with the Bears, and the Bears coaches are taking an entirely different personality with the team this year. Antoine Randall L. is the wide receivers coach, and that we're talking about how good DJ Moore is, and he's going to be one of the greatest leaders and all that. And Antoine Randall L. said, well, I don't think he's that good. He's not that good because the teams that he's been on, no team that he's ever played on has been in the playoffs. None of the guys that are coming up under him have ever elevated to being an excellent wide receiver. So if you really talk about this guy being good, you should see that in his leadership. And nobody, none of the other coaches I've ever seen said that kind of stuff to him. Dennis Allen, as a coach, as a defensive coach, is also, he's got metrics that he's looking for, and he's letting all of the Bears players know, hey, you can be replaced. If you ain't out there balling, we'll get rid of you. So I'm thinking that's gonna make a big change and a big change with everybody else on the team. So I think
if y'all get a chance, look it up. How Antoine Randall L. was standing at the tunnel yesterday when the wide receivers came out. It was like straight hype. This coaching staff is the thing about it is a lot of these coaches played the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
figures.
It's a big difference. You got Ben Johnson, didn't play in the NFL, but you got guys like Antoine Randall L. You got Eric Bieniemy. These guys that know what it's like to be actually in the trenches and play the game, and that matters a lot. That matters.
But he's a unicorn too. Antoine Randall L. is a unicorn, because what a lot of y'all youngest don't really understand, Antoine Randall L., if I'm not mistaken, still has the most yards in the history of Indiana football as a quarterback. When y'all started to do the option plays, he's throwing that ball. He threw it good. Yeah, because he was probably one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten for 4 years. So imagine that guy as your wide receivers coach. There's nothing as a receiver. He has a one-up. I don't care how great you are. You say, oh, I got 1,000 yards. Like, yeah. But did you ever play quarterback for 4 years?
And Randall L. played wide receiver in the NFL. He played wide receiver. I don't care
how great of a receiver you are. If you know that pedigree that he has, it'll humble you a little bit. And now, guess what? Now your eyes are like this and your ears are open. I love that, man. Love it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Hey, I want to
DJ. I'm sorry, Plank. Go ahead.
I was thinking about but Nutty. Just want to come back to Nutty made that point about the play clock. So I was listening to one of the analysts yesterday. They said the Bears average when Caleb Williams got to the line was 19 seconds. So think about this: the 24-second clock. 19 seconds, they was out of the huddle. Caleb was at the line. So think about that. That's insane. Like, you got literally a coach, the offensive coach already got the next play in his head, calling in, already going, and 6 seconds, they done called the play into the line. They had the average, it was 19 seconds on the line. 19 seconds to get the play off.
And when you get to the scrimmage with 19 seconds left, before the headset go off, a lot of things can happen in your head. Like, okay, you know what? We just called this, but now that you got to the line of scrimmage and we see this, check with me. Now we're going to do this because you got time to do that stuff. And that's discipline. That is discipline. And if you can continue that and master that, the sky's the limit. The sky's
Or
the
like
limit.
you as a receiver, Oh, hold on. Let's check this out.
I'm gonna make a point, guy.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you would even understand this, Jay. When you got that much time, there's certain adjustments. Like your receiver being there, it's like you gotta be doing this hook. If he lean this way, I'm on a go. As soon as you see him lean this way, I'm on a go route.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a lot of time at the line of scrimmage for a quarterback to dissect a defense. When you got 19 seconds, it's like, oh my God, we still have 19 seconds is an eternity in the NFL at the line of scrimmage. That's an eternity. You like, okay, now I might look at the quarterback like, oh, look what he slant a little bit to the middle. He slant a little bit to the inside. Now the route that I wanted to run that required me to go inside, now I might be able to break it outside because he's cheating. It's a big deal,
and that means your offensive coordinator is really tuned into the game because he is already 3 steps ahead.
Yep.
He's looking at the formations. He said, if they do this, I got you. Next play, I'm coming back with this because I saw you do it 2 plays ago. So it's just like that. It's just that mind. It's that man. This coaching staff, like Guy was saying, this coaching staff these are true MVPs right here. You got a whole lineup of coaches from Ben Johnson all the way down to the special teams coach. They all about this business, man.
Who's the only one?
Even looking at this formation,
retained?
when you look at this formation right here, this is the opposite of what I was complaining about last year. Mm-hmm. If you look at the top of the screen, you got 3 receivers wide out. One of my complaints last year was they was running these bunch sets too close to the line of scrimmage, and you got a rookie quarterback and you got a bunch set so close that now all the defenders are in the box, and now the quarterbacks has to sort through that bunch set to try to figure out who was coming. Where I said they should have had something like this where they spread them, if they want to triple, spread them out further. That way you don't allow all those defenders to be in the box, and at that time a rookie quarterback has to sort through that. Hey, you want to let this run, Plank?
Let's go.
Okay.
About signs from the defense in recent years, but can they get the offense? Pretty good start to this one. It's another tight end in Cole Kmet. 2nd and 15. Time to throw. Open tight end.
This throw right here. Man, this throw here.
19 yards.
Plank, if you could go back a little bit. Man, I know this throw don't look like much to the eye. This throw, he layers it over the linebackers, and it drops between that. Okay, now look at this. Look, it's 2 linebackers. I wish I could
look at the pocket. Yep. Look at the pocket, though. Look at the pocket. Look at the pocket.
Now he's going to lay it over these guys, and he's going to drop it to Kmet, but it's still safeties over the top. But watch how
time to throw. Open tight end, Loveland again.
Behind Caleb Williams.
Got 19 yards and a first down. First 3rd down for Chicago. 3rd and 5.
You got a quarterback that got a confidence that knows nobody's going to touch him.
Look at that separation, man.
Go back.
36-yard touchdown.
Go back and watch the release of this from the line of scrimmage from these 2 wide receivers.
Okay, ready?
Watch the release.
3rd down for Chicago. 3rd and 5. Williams in rhythm again. There's Zacchaeus, and Olamide Zacchaeus takes it to the end zone.
You got to wind that again. You got to rewind that.
But this offense, the way that they run that is why Dan Marino has so many yards. Dan Marino was just like that. Just boom.
Because Jay loves this.
Look at this. Look at this release.
Chicago, 3rd and 5. Williams in rhythm again. There's Zacchaeus, and Olamide Zacchaeus takes it to the end zone for the Zacchaeus. 36-yard touchdown to finish off.
That's what you call
93-yard drive to
wide receiver
open.
That right there.
I'll tell you what, the Ben Johnson era,
look at this.
Even though it's the preseason, couldn't have started. Watch this switch release here and what it does, creating leverage for Zacchaeus, and then it's just
not nearly as much anticipation about what you're going to see from the Bills offense tonight. Josh Allen will not play. They start off with Mike White at
okay.
You can't draw it up no prettier than that.
More if you like.
You can't draw it up no prettier than that. That right there, you can't draw it up no better than that.
But I guarantee you this.
Scheming people open off the line of scrimmage. It's not scheming people open 5 yards down the field 8 yards down the field. You scheming people open off the line of scrimmage. And that gives your quarterback the time that he needs, which is not a lot of time. If he can read it and dissect it, it's 1, 2, bam. That's it. That's it.
And here's the other thing, too. I don't know. I'm not going to say I'll be shocked, but I think that if he does run a trip left or a trip right, it's going to be what I've been complaining about. Y'all know I've been complaining about this for 3 years. You in trips, one of your guys is the out guy. That second guy, you go either drag him or slant him. That third guy's going to be a go or out hook. When they run trips, when it's said and done, all 3 guys are like this close together.
But this 12 personnel, you know, Ben, and I'm just really anxious to see how Ben is going to play this.
Yeah, put 2 tight ends in.
Because not only the 12 personnel, but even when he run a 13 personnel with 3 wide receivers and a tight end, now you still got to look at when you're 5 wide, where one of your tight ends is going to be a wide, and now you talk about DJ, Rome, Zacchaeus, and Burton on the field. It's so it's so much that he can do with the personnel that they have, man. It's so, and I'm just really interested to see how he's going to innovate this offense, because even if the Bears came out just ran 12 personnel, 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a 12 personnel genius. What I want to see is, you know what I'm excited to see, Jay? I'm excited to see them run them routes in zone defense.
Well, here's the thing that's getting me that I'm really excited about. We have yet to see them with their number 1 or number 2 running backs even represented in the game.
Man, look.
So, they came out passing, and when I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, we don't have a running premise. But the fact that we're doing play action and Caleb is coming under center and turning his back, and by the time he turns around, he has several different options. Man, this is going to be something dangerous.
And you look at it, Caleb got that confidence of a quarterback that know those guys in front of him going to keep him clean. And that's what he got. And that's what he got.
That's the difference.
He ain't worried about on the snap where this pressure coming from. He ain't even thinking about it. All he focus on is I'm going through my check down. Because he know they may get him once or twice, but they're not gonna get him like they got him last year. I guarantee you that. Them big boys up front gonna protect him. Even yesterday, Tony was out, so they didn't have a starting lineup. But still, look at the rest of them. They held their own. I don't care what you say. When you got a quarterback that believes in those guys in front of him, it makes his job easier, because he's not concerned about where he's gonna get his head knocked off at, because these guys are pushing them. And that's what you get when you got a quarterback that can sit comfortable, not worry about where pressure coming from, who gonna get to him. He'll pick you apart. And you got the body, and you got the weapons that's getting open. My God, it's gonna be ridiculous out there.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I remember last year when the Bears did Hard Knocks, and Ryan Poles was like, "It's gonna be difficult to make this team." I don't know if y'all remember that quote. He's like, "It's gonna be difficult for people to make it. This year is gonna be difficult for people to make this team." And I say that starting with the offensive line, because they drafted Ozzie Trapillo. And my prayer was what I told y'all. I remember they made that mistake when they drafted Tevin Jenkins, who was a right tackle in college. They drafted him and said, we're gonna move him to the left side. And immediately wave Charles Leno. Bad mistake.
Yeah.
Everybody that's calling for Braxton, nope. Braxton Jones ain't making no money. It ain't like if you trade him or waive him, you saving this enormous amount of money on the cap. Let it play out. Because guess what? If you got him over here on the left side, you got Ozzie Trapillo, and then you got this Theo Bennett guy that's been blowing it up in camp. You got 2 good swing tackles. It's not hard to figure out. Don't get ahead of yourself. Let everything play out the way it's supposed to be played out. Because the bottom line is, if if Braxton Jones don't work out this year, if he don't work out this year, guess what? You don't owe him no money next year.
Right.
You can sit him down and you can replace him. But let this play out. Let it play out, man.
Ben Johnson was saying that Ozzy's thing was the fact that right now, and it was an honest assessment that his feet are a little slow right now. He's a rookie, but when they showed this picture of the offensive line and Hallis Hall walking somewhere together, it was like Ozzy Trapillo and his third grade brothers. This dude is huge, but I'm gonna tell you, you know what? The accountability. This is why accountability is very important to the cohesion of this offensive line. Last year, you screw up, you was gonna get cussed out. Screw up. Now do better. Now guys screwing up, they know it. Snap your chin strap off, get your ASS out of here, and sit on the bench. It's a huge difference when you that dude and you mess up and you turn around and know you're gonna get snatched. That's some humble pie. And a lot of them guys are playing. I mean, they're playing for their team, but now you're starting to act like you got some sense because if you mess up, you might get snatched. Love it.
Yeah, I want to.
I mean, people say they.
What they did on the inside with with Dalman, Tooney, and
Jonah Jackson.
Jonah Jackson. One of the things on the announcer said yesterday that the Bears led the league with allowing free runners to the quarterback. Yeah. That's the difference of in the interior. And I know it's just preseason, but this is the difference of you having a veteran interior that know what they're doing, and you have endowment at center of somebody who could actually help point out those issues, right? Because I think that was one of the unfair criticism too that we saw going on in recent weeks is how many people actually nobody touched last year, and they actually just came right up the middle, or they just started
A and B,
or the center just got pushed.
Yeah,
and just kind of got ran over, and
that ain't gonna happen with Thunny though.
He was making the quarterback get out of the pocket, which leads to accuracy, right? Accuracy. When the quarterback can't plant his feet, his accuracy is going to suffer because why? His mechanics are off. He's not feeling comfortable putting that front foot forward, and maybe he's kind of just throwing it just to try to get it out of his hands. But I just want to point that out. What you got, Jay?
But what have I always said on these airways? You build a football team from the inside out.
Inside out, yep.
If your interior line is good, your tackles are going to be okay. Yeah. Because you don't have that free runner that's running right down the middle of your offensive line, and there's nobody that'll stop him. So if you build your team from the inside out, which Ryan Poles had kind of got a little goofy and was picking up the toys and doing all that stuff in the draft, but now he has solidified this inside interior. If you build your line from the inside out, it tends to look a lot better. And although it's I ain't gonna say one preseason game, I'm saying 2 preseason games because they actually didn't look bad. They tied last week, but they actually didn't look bad either.
Right.
So build from the inside out, and it's actually gonna show. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Here's my thing with Braxton Jones. Everybody know the old saying, "Iron is sharp as iron." But think about this. Braxton Jones, first of all, he got Joe Toney next to him, who's an all-pro guard. Not only is an all-pro guard, but last year he stepped in and played left tackle for the Chiefs when they left tackle went down. So not only is he an all-pro guard, but he also played left tackle for a Super Bowl caliber team. Think about that. Yeah. Think about this. When they brought in, when Ben Johnson brought in his coaching staff, Dan Richard, I'm guaranteed they looked at all the film. All the film they looked at. And for what they saw on film and thinking about where they can get him and who they was bringing in, they decided they was going to roll with Braxton Jones and not grab a left tackle in the draft. Maybe that wasn't their thought pattern, but they saw something in this kid that they could fix and correct. It was something in this kid that they can fit. They felt there was something in this kid they can fix, or they can make better that would make him that would get him to where they need him to be. And that's what I'm just saying, so I know people feel about Braxton Jones. Let the kid develop. Let this kid play. Let this kid for a fifth round draft pick to start in the NFL. Let this kid develop.
It was their thought process because they looked at the film and they was like, okay, we're going to draft a tight end in the first round. As much as everybody said we need a left tackle, we're going to draft a tight end. And then they rolled around with 3 picks in the second round. And they was like, ooh, Luther Burden. Do we need a wide receiver? Do we? Not really. Because we had already signed Zacchaeus by then. And we was like, oh, they drafted Luther Burden.
Yeah.
So now with the second pick in the second round, they're like, oh, we see a talented young tackle that we can possibly develop in case Braxton Jones don't work out.
Yeah.
We can bring him along and put him in. So and they did think about it. And they thought about it in a very, very logical way.
And calculated way. Because
I guarantee you, Ben Johnson studied all that. He didn't just come in there like, oh well, whatever. And I guarantee you, he looked at film and looked at film and looked at film and looked at film and studied and studied and studied and said, we can do something with this kid.
We might be able to
let's get the pieces around him and we can do something with this kid. And then you go and draft an all pro. Then you go sign an all trade for all pro guard to play left tackle. Come on, how coincidental is that? Come on now.
But
how coincidental is that?
Hey, I know we got our quarterback Brewer.
And the Braxton Jones hater. Braxton Jones all-star hater up in here.
Yeah. Hey, give me
the Braxton Jones all-star hater up in here.
Hey, give me a t-shirt.
Come on, Christian.
I'll wear that junk. I promise you I will. Probably. I'll be the fan club of it. What's going on?
What you got,
y'all?
Christian?
Hey, what you have on Caleb Williams, Christian? Would you share that with us?
I was impressed with
What?
I was impressed. Come on, don't do me like that. No,
It's the beard.
I was I was impressed. No, I was impressed. I was really impressed with just how he was on time with everything, and then the formations. I'm excited. I was impressed. Like it's night and day from where he was last year.
Did you see that route concept? Did you check out that route concept?
Oh, you talking about
on that first
switch?
touchdown?
You talking about on the switch? Yeah,
it was so
nice.
nasty. It was so nasty.
Seen that. I've never seen that from a tight formation like that before. That was
different. And that was the thing. From the way it was, they wasn't spread out. It was on like the hash.
Yeah,
it was on the hash.
They ran a switch.
And, oh my
it was
God!
Different. Yeah, that was
beautiful.
Different.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
When we're talking about iron sharpens iron, the one thing with Braxton Jones, this is what, and I'm willing to give him grace to see what he does, because if we look at the offensive line, a lot of times you'll see guys make mistakes and they'll get on guys as opposed to looking at the whole picture. Like when we dealt with our center that wasn't blocking nobody. Now you got this guy over here like, okay, we need to do this guy. So you're kind of shedding your assignment to kind of keep this intrusion here. So what happens is now that he's got Thunny there, he's got Dahlman, Braxton Jones, he's got Jackson, he's got Wright. Now he's got some guys and some dogs up there. So now you can look at him and see what he's going to do. But when you look at a collective, when you look at it as a coach, you look at it from a collective. Like, and I always go back to Chicago Bulls. You had Scotty, you had Mike. They were dogs, but the rest of them were okay. But when they worked together, they were cutting dudes down. These guys got an opportunity to be one of the better offensive lines in the league. If everybody does what they do and everybody's got their assignments, and you looking up and Caleb Williams' jersey is clean at the end of the game, it's gonna make you start rethinking a whole lot of things.
Did y'all talk about that rookie from Michigan State? I'm sorry, I'm late. I just got from practice. The left guard.
Newman.
Luke Newman.
Yeah.
He's going to be something.
Luke Newman, he's back up, yeah.
He was,
the way I look at it,
looking real good yesterday. I ain't going to even hold y'all. He was
the way I look at it, exactly. And the way I look at that is like you got Jonah Jackson, you got John Tooney. They both up in age. You know what I'm saying? So if you draft a guy like Luke Newman, he's going to be looking around to be able to fall right into place.
Yeah.
It's how Kansas City do things. It's how Philadelphia do things. By the way, y'all see
franchises do things.
Yeah.
And by the way, y'all see Philly just traded for John Messi Jr. The third the other day, right? The rich get richer. The rich get richer.
I made a post earlier today, and I meant it. I was very critical because I want us to drive more alignment. But this is the first time in my whole adult life my whole life that I've ever seen us look around and be like, dang, we got talent on top of talent. Because you got Luther Burden, you got 2 tight ends, you got 2 legit wide receivers.
No, we got more than 2 tight ends because I'm like, okay, who is this number 81? What's his name? Right? I'm like, where this guy come from?
Him too. Yeah.
It's talent stacked. And the thing about it is, you only got 53 spots. So only 53 people is going to make this team.
Yeah. And my favorite guy right now is Ian Wheeler. That dude been running. Coming from an ACL injury, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
They got to find a way for him to make the team.
Yeah.
He looked good. The Bears got speed too, and it's just not one player, right? You got Luther with speed. You got Colston with speed. Rome is actually runs about 4.4.
DJ Moore.
I think he was
in practice.
But you know what? When you're talking about talent, right? I thought the running back room, the guys who are kind of like getting a little time right now with other guys. You know who I've been impressed with as far as catching the ball out of the backfield the last 2 games? I can't remember his name. Number 20. He's made some nice catches.
He's a wide receiver.
Alexander. He's a wide receiver.
He made some nice catches.
He's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver. That's why I say it's talent upon talent, and everybody's not going to be able to stick. And I feel like if the Bears put him on their practice squad, somebody's going to take him. I really do. I really do. But at this point, as much talent as I feel that's in the wide receiver room, because y'all know that's all I'm looking at. That the defensive backs. That is defensive backs play. I am looking at defensive backs. But as much talent as the Bears have in a wide receiver room, everybody's not gonna stick. No, because you got that kid that played for Green Bay, Torre. I think that's his last name.
Samori Torre.
Torre, yeah.
He made a few plays last night.
He had 3 for 48. All their guys, they had
too.
I got something here real quick for y'all. Okay. Samori Toure, 3 for 48, 16 yards. You had Luther Burden, 3 for 49, 16.3. You had Olamide Zacchaeus, 1 for 36 in the TD. You know, you got Tyler Scott.
Yeah.
You know, so what's happening? You know what? And what people need to understand, this is very healthy, because what happens is you get to some franchises where the guys are starters and they become stagnant because they know ain't nobody on the bench gonna take my spot.
Yeah,
all them dudes from top to bottom is kind of nervous because I'm looking at Thunny's gonna be fine, but Braxton, you got Ozzie looking over your shoulder. You got Dalman, you got Kramer there, you got Ryan Bates at the guard, Kieran Amagajide, Miles Boyd, all these guys. You got second string dudes that's sitting on the bench like this, not scared. But the best part about that second string is the fact that they're on the bench watching from a different vantage point. And by them watching from a different vantage point, when they get in the game, it's going to be certain stuff that will be a great area to them. And they're going to think about being on the sideline. Man, well, I was looking, that's 3 yards out. I can make that. That's what I was always talking about Justin Fields. Had he had a clipboard and he had your guy, had he had not been a starter and sat on the sideline, that little out route, he would always pump fake because he was scared he wasn't going to make it. If he had a clipboard in his hand and watched it from that vantage point, in his mind, he probably came to the game and said, I can make that pass 9 out of 10 times. But our whole
if y'all didn't see
guys on the bench that's just ready, man. They dying. So
if y'all
didn't see Justin Fields the other day, he looked bad. Oh my God, he looked bad.
Yeah, that'd be a whole show. Hey, Plank, what about defense, Plank? Can you share what you've seen defense the last 2 weeks? I know we ain't talked about defense at all.
Yeah, defensively, the Bears look like monsters. I mean, Dennis Allen has got these guys ready. You know, they're coming out, breathing fire. Tremaine Edmonds, I know I've been rough on him, okay? I've been talking about how he's stealing money. It looks like, and from everything that I've read, this guy is actually ready to have a good season. He's 6'5", the guy's rangy, and it's very hard to throw over that guy and he's actually starting to play like he realizes he's 6'5" and can run fast. One of the things that's getting me for defense is I haven't even heard about TJ Edwards all year, and I know that dude is a dog. So I'm looking forward to that. What's coming? One thing I did want to say about the final 53, we are going to have to take 3 quarterbacks every game. So we want to make sure we take Caleb. Tyson Bajan is going to be on the squad, and then they're going to have Keenan. Otherwise, if you leave him on the practice squad, somebody's going to take him. So what's going to happen from that is one of those wide receivers.
That's what I was going to say.
Not going to be able to make the squad,
Right.
even as competitive as they are, because we have to protect those 3 quarterbacks.
Well, you got to keep more DBs to play special teams anyway. So,
and I want to talk about this.
They probably going to keep 5 wide receivers from anyway.
No, they're gonna keep 6. No, they'll keep 6 wide receivers. Just because you got to do a role, because you got Zacchaeus that's gonna probably return your punts. So that's a dual role right there. So they probably gonna keep 6. They probably
how many DBs they're gonna keep then?
They probably gonna wind up keeping 8 or 9.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Man to man, you're gonna need those DBs
because I'm telling y'all right now. This I feel so confident in our defensive backs that if Jalen Johnson ain't even ready for week 1,
is that JB?
I'm not even worried. The fact that Terrell Smith went down yesterday, and he might be out for the season.
Yeah.
Him and Jalen Johnson both ain't ready for the start of the season. I'm not even worried about our defensive backs. That's just how deep they are. That's just how deep they are.
Something I mentioned, I talked about too. They're talking about possibly doing some 5-2 up in there too. So now you got mano-a-mano on the line. You got the offensive line versus defensive line. What I love about pressure is the fact that you got a guy like, and I hope I don't butcher his name, Amen Abong Bemiga.
Oh,
he has 6 tackles with 5 solos, and he's like 6'1", 220 something. So you could probably put him in as a linebacker. They could be a hybrid safety or whatever. These guys, all I know is that yesterday, what I saw from the defense, guys were flying to the ball. It was almost like the dude that had the ball, they heard in the scout report that they was talking about their mama. Because these dudes was like, I was actually scared for Buffalo. I'm looking at these dudes, I'm like, they flying to the ball, man. That's
Wait,
now, what y'all think about Booker?
Austin Booker, though.
But
what do you think about Booker, Plank?
No, go ahead.
What do you think about Booker?
No, I was saying, real quick, Plank, they was talking about you mentioned they said you haven't heard a lot about TJ Edwards.
Yep.
Dennis Allen has flirted with that whole flip-flop thing where TJ has been playing middle linebacker.
Good.
And Edmonds has been at the week.
Oh.
So yeah, so he kind of tinkering with some things with this linebacker core because they're gonna play most of the time. They're gonna play. Kyler Gordon gonna be in the game, so they're gonna be playing 5 defense.
No, we got on you.
I would say no, you're incorrect because nobody said on this show more than me that Justin Fields sucked that 3rd season.
No, we got on him because he's Tyson Bajan's fanboy. He did good. He did good. Don't get me wrong.
Quarterback. Austin Booker, this young man, you starting to see some things. He's reminding me of Max Crawford. Of the Raiders. I'm looking at some of the moves that he's putting on. He's power rushing people. He's pushing offensive linemen back with single hands. He's got good hand placement and foot placement. I hope his injury isn't that bad, but this young man is showing that he's ready to come out there and eat.
I'm sorry. It may be the lineman in me, man, but them D lines make all pro cornerbacks, all pro linebackers. They make all pro safeties. Yep. Them dogs up front. That's all. If you got them dogs up front, it make the secondary job much easier. It make the linebacker job much easier. That's how all pros come about in the secondary because y'all big boys up front. Now that's just me. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just
No,
that
you're right
nature of
though.
beast.
No, you're
You
right though.
know,
Because
them big boys. When you got them big boys up in the middle, putting that pressure, man, cornerbacks they got to cover that long, and you ain't got to linebackers ain't got a lot of work to do because them big boys up front handling business. And that's where it starts.
And the defensive backs can jump routes too. That are
if
smart
you watch,
enough. You know,
so the quarterback's got to get rid of it.
if you watch the defensive line play,
5-2.
if you watch the defensive line play, just from yesterday, I saw Andrew Billings.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Getting with it.
But,
You know, Austin Booker was getting with it. Javon Dexter, they was getting and we haven't seen Montez Sweat yet. So if we can get just consistent pressure, this defense can really, really be good.
Hey,
So if you look at Austin, if you look at Austin Booker's sack yesterday, if you run that tape, you will see the reason he got that sack is because of Billings. It took two people. Billings, they was on a cross. They took two guys to cover Billings, and Austin Booker came in right where that guard vacated at. And if you run that play, you'll see exactly what happened to it.
Yep.
Man, I'm gonna say this: one of y'all frat brothers got on me a couple of years ago because I was saying that I ain't like the Tampa 2 defense, and I felt like it was a little outdated. I'm gonna say this new defense, the Dennis Allen playing, letting them big guys play. Because when you play a Tampa 2 defense, there's only so much that you can do. It's like run scheme, it's like run fit stuff. You know, you gotta be in the gap. Man, Dennis Allen got them boys playing different. And Billings, he was eating because it's different. Like he don't got the same responsibilities he had last year.
Yeah.
So I'm
excited. And then you got Dennis Allen moving Montez Sweat to the inside, where you got other people coming off the out. What
he gonna play that man coverage backside, man. And they gonna let them eat.
What coaches is understanding now in the NFL that it ain't no traditional. You know how people talk about, well, they playing the traditional coverage. Ain't nothing traditional. That NFL is over with. That NFL is over with. You got to be creative and innovative in order to apply consistent pressure on a quarterback, because as much as I hate the phrase, this a passing league, it's a passing league. And if you don't get after the quarterback, you're going to pay.
It's a passing league.
I agree so much, because one of the stubbornness that you saw with Flukes was they really didn't want to bring additional pressure when they wasn't getting it. You got to adjust to the game that's going on in front of you. I don't care what your philosophy is. If you put your four guys up front and they can't generate pressure, what you saw a lot in the Bears game, especially as the season went on, is as they played better offenses, because, you know, the first 6 games, the offenses weren't that good. But as they played better offenses, you saw quarterbacks even go to the Washington game, that last play of the game. I know that was kind of designed, but you saw stuff where quarterbacks had too much time to throw. You start seeing busted coverages, and sometimes that was probably because they had too much time to throw. You even had guys who, if they was a little mobile, they could roll out, and it seemed like nobody could chase them down because they just seemed slow. And I think I'm seeing a whole lot more speed. I'm seeing a whole lot more adjustment. And
I just like the fact that you got guys that's finally, you got guys like Noah Sewell, who's finally coming into his own. I think he coming into his 3rd year here. And so you see a development, which we haven't seen in the past of players. You know, you'd be like, man, such and such. Dominique Robinson is the perfect example. What happened to Dominique Robinson? His first year, he flashed. His second year, he was on the bubble, shouldn't have made the team. And now he's back again this year. Is he going to make the team this year? But you got players like Noah Sewell, Terrell Smith. You know, you got these guys that's being developed and being able to contribute.
Man, talk about Ruben. That boy can play.
Ruben Hippolyte.
Hippolyte is nice.
He can play.
He had 5 and 4. He had 5 titles with 4 of them being solos.
He had that punch out. He had that punch out yesterday.
And guess what? He wasn't even projected to get drafted.
No,
he wasn't even projected. He wasn't invited to the combine. He ain't playing the East-West game. He ain't playing the Shrine game or whatever. He no invitations to anything. The
But he
Bears
ran
took
the
them in the 4th
4-4.
round. The Bears took them in the 4th round, and people said they was crazy.
He run a
But
4-4.
when you can, but when you can evaluate and actually make talent better, it becomes a plus.
Yeah,
But
I was wrong
everybody's
about
going
this
in
draft.
there, and it's like it's called when a job is not a job. Them guys seem like they love what they do. When you come to work and you love what you do, you don't even think about the work. When I was looking at the defense, I'm looking at these dudes. I'm like, who are these dudes? Because it was something I was like, I said something on the text. I was like, who is this team? Completely different culture. It's like this. If you, as a coach, guys are going to make mistakes. But if everybody's prepared and everybody understands the playbook, they understand the schemes and the concepts, and they lose, then now all you have to do is go on and understand, like, okay, well, we need to prep, we need to fix this technique, we need to fix this situation. But when guys come in and they don't understand the playbook, we get what the Bears had last year. It just seemed like one of y'all offline said this, from 1 all the way down to 3. Everybody looked like they knew what they were doing.
What they was doing.
Yeah. And I do want to point out that
Yeah.
I know people say it's preseason, but you know what? What I heard out of the Friday scrimmage, the Bears was dominating them in the scrimmage as well. Starters against starters. Right. So starters against starters in the scrimmage, and they were talking about how much the Bears were dominating them and how sharp Caleb was in that scrimmage against them. So, I mean, to get 500 yards, I mean, if it's a defense out there, that's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Even when the third strings are against the third stringers, they still was dominating that team, right? I mean, nobody wants to give up 500 yards regardless of who's out there playing, right? I mean,
even Sean McDermott came out today in Buffalo and was like, yeah, it's preseason. We lost 38-0, and I'm not happy about it because we did not perform well. Yeah. It is what I mean. 500 yards of offense in the NFL. College, you'll see 500 yards of offense probably every week.
Take that Bears,
and you think about the preseason. People talk that preseason mess, but think about this: if you had your ones in there, they really not. I ain't gonna say they're not giving effort, but I'm making this squad. They like I'm making this squad. So you know it is what it is. But when you got this 2s and the 3s, these are dudes that's trying to make this NFL team. So they going hard, they going at it. You probably gonna get better competition from 2s and 3s in preseason than you would from 1s. And I don't care what nobody say. That's just what I feel about it. Yeah. I could be wrong. I ain't no expert, but I'm saying 1's like shit. I know I'm gonna make this squad, so you know I'm gonna get 1 series. You know, whatever. I do this.
Let's make this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but these 2s and 3s, these dudes trying to make this squad. They going all in.
I want to make this disclaimer for a lot of people out here that are talking about this Bills defense that gave up 500 yards. I'm gonna put some in perspective for you. That defense that gave up 500 yards, they played the #1 football college team in the nation and beat the brakes off of them. They won't be able to move the ball. And I'm telling you, this NFL, when you see 500 yards, I don't care who you are. When you see a team get 500 yards, that don't happen every day. That's crazy work.
Cincinnati putting
that it puts into perspective that this ain't what we see in Detroit, because people are like, oh, he ran 12 person. No, he did not. He did, but he didn't do it in the few plays that we seen yesterday. That was something different. You can go look at Detroit's offense. You're gonna see their second tight end. He didn't get that many passing opportunities. He was mostly in. Yeah, he was mostly in. Yeah, on a run scheme. They actually ran the ball within this yesterday, and it was different. So it's something for me to get excited about, because now I'm like, dang, what else could he gonna do out of this personnel? Because it's a disadvantage.
Because everybody's whole thing was like, the Bears gonna run the Detroit offense. No, they're not.
No, it's not the same.
He specifically said, I'm installing a total new offense for the personnel and the quarterback that I have. And not only that, the last point I want to make about Ben Johnson. I don't think Ben Johnson would have came here if he felt like Caleb wasn't going to be able to master this system.
Right.
Period.
Right.
This dude held out for a head coaching job for the last 3 years. He was one of the number one candidates as a head coach. He didn't decide to leave Detroit to be like, I'm going to go see if I can actually make Caleb a good quarterback.
I ain't moved. I don't know why this camera. I don't know why this thing turned sideways.
It was
I ain't moved. I'm in the same place. I ain't moved. Not 1 ounce.
Hey, we gonna wrap it up for the night, man. Hey, it's a great discussion. Thank everybody who tuned in from Facebook. I think we were on LinkedIn and Twitch TV tonight. You know, and we about to get ready for the final game. But the final game is gonna probably mostly just be the guys who are trying to make the squad.
Bubble guys.
So we may double back near the end of the week if Christian wants to do the quarterback show this week. If not, we come back with the quarterback show the first week. And I'm glad we talked about mostly the guys that was going to start, because I know a lot of people get excited about, the backup quarterback all the time, but we know who's going to start this season. So I'm glad we didn't stray into that because, I mean, we know who's starting. This ain't a competition.
Right.
This is a competition.
It just said Caleb Williams started all 17 games last year.
So. He sure did.
But what I will say to my man, the tribe of Judah, whatever it is, Tyson Bagent has benefited from being on the sidelines, and it showed. Yep. He didn't seem like he was rattled. He didn't seem like he was nervous. He seemed like a quarterback. Maybe he's playing for another contract. Maybe he's playing to go somewhere else, but I ain't gonna knock him this time. I'll let you slide.
I tell you what, J.J. McCarthy is gonna be in for a rude awakening as a first game as a rookie. He didn't play as a rookie. He got to go against Dennis Allen's defense.
He's gonna be in trouble.
Okay. The last thing I'm gonna say on the show. The last thing I'm gonna say on this show for the preseason, I'm actually giving a prediction for the season. I don't see not one team in the NFC North. Get this. One team in the NFC North win more than 10 games.
That's fair.
That's all.
Okay.
Because guess
your
what?
camera was messed up, Aaron, because you was doing a pancake on somebody. So you just
I know, right?
We have three teams. We have 3 teams in this division that made the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. I don't see not one team in this division winning more than 10 games.
They got to split, right? They got all of them gonna have to split to do that.
It's gonna be so ugly. This is gonna be so ugly for this NFC North. Because guess what?
You don't think Bears win 10 games? That's what you're saying?
No.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. The NFC North division winner is gonna win 10 games. Period.
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying. Okay.
Because guess what? We got to play each other.
Mm-hmm.
We got to play the AFC North twice. We got to play the AFC North and the NFC East. And then whatever random game that we wind up having to play because we came in last place or third place, but I don't see not one team in this division winning more than 10 games because we finna beat up on each other. That's just how I see it.
Okay.
As I studied the schedule, I'm like, you know what? The Packers got to play the Steelers. The Packers got to play Cincinnati, who I'm watching beat the brakes off the Washington Redskins right now. They got to play Cleveland. Cleveland is not a good team, but they're not an easy out. They got to play Baltimore. This is going to be ugly. This is going to be winning ugly at its finest.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jay got 2 bold predictions tonight. He got Luther Burden, and that's not that bold. Luther Burden may lead the team in touchdowns because somebody I believe is going to get those mismatches in the red zone. So
I got Roman Dunze with 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, I got Warren as the one. But hey, thank everybody for tuning in for tonight. Until next time, peace. Is it gonna play? It's supposed to play, but it's not playing. Hold on, let me see what's happening. It's supposed to automatically like end, but I
It's
guess
supposed to not automatically end.
Yeah.
They
It's supposed to
really like
automatically end.
us.
Let's see what happened.
They don't want us to end.
They don't want us in. They said just keep talking.
Keep going. Just keep going.
Hey, let me try it again.